What is up, guys? I wanted to share with you my old Vectrex system. These are the boxed games that I have, but this video is about the multi-cart that I got. I just wanted to give you a quick look at the boxed version of some of these games if you've never seen it before. It's been around since the early 80s. It's a really cool system. Now they needed these overlays on there because the screen is just black and white. And this is a cool, Sean Kelly made this multi-card up, and there's a lot of great games on here. A lot of these games were like knockoffs of arcade games, but it's really pretty good. Like here's an Asteroids version. Now for Asteroids, this looks pretty close to the original. This is actually the first time I've played this game on here, because Mindstorm that you see that is on the main screen there is what the game comes with in default. If you don't have a cartridge in it, that's the game you would be playing. But this is like a legit copy of Asteroids, which is really, really cool. The neat thing about these are they're portable. You know, the monitor is the system, and it does take a cartridge on the side, so you could basically go anywhere, plug it into a 110, and you're ready to go. The games are only vector, so they are very basic, but it's still really cool. Sounds obviously aren't 100% Asteroids, but I don't think it's really supposed to be a 100% version of it. It's just giving you the idea of it. Let's move on to another game here. Berserk. I do have the original of this. Now I would normally be changing that overlay like I said before, and they're all color coded for the game, but it still give you an idea. I used to play the shit out of this thing when I was a kid. Now the only thing that sucks, my joystick, my Y up and down is broken, so it works, but there's no spring load. So some of these games, it makes it a little difficult. You can't quite control it as well as I'd like to. So I'm gonna have to look into that and get that thing rebuilt, or just get another controller. Definitely cool though. Let's move on to another one here. Clean Sweep. This is like a knockoff of Pac-Man, but it's kind of a neat concept because, well, you'll see here in a second. So in the four corners, after you eat so many dots, you actually have to go in the center and empty them out, and then you'll get points. But in order to eat those things, kind of like ghosts, you have to go into one of the four corners, and then you turn into something else that you can eat them, and then chase them just like Pac-Man. But it's the same principle. They just didn't have the rights to copy it exactly, but it's the very same concept. Now watch here. See now? Definitely cool. See how that's broken there? So it makes it a little more difficult to control, like I was saying earlier. Let's see, I get back smaller, and I died. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Pole position, this is cool. Definitely, if you're a Vector fan, this console is definitely a collector's thing that anyone should get. But they're kind of pricey now. I was lucky to have one since I was a kid, like I said. Pretty neat. It's got 2 gears, high and low, and steering and brake. That's it. So everything is based on 4 buttons in this whole game. Some games will only use 1 or 2, but there's only 4 buttons on the whole controller. Scramble, I have the original one of that. I used to really play this game a lot. But you see, it's enough to know what the games were. They're just not exactly like the original. It's still cool though. The white square boxes are your fuel. Not sure what the X's are. Or maybe that's fuel too. This one's especially hard with having that controller broke because up and down is real sloppy. Here's a Donkey Kong knockoff. First game that spoke in the Vectrex, which is pretty cool. I have the original of this too. The overlay is like purple. So you can actually control where that ladder is going to go. You can move it around with the first button. And then you got to get the key right there and then you jump into the thing and that's the level. But obviously it gets harder and harder as it progresses. See, now you got that flying box. And this is really hard with that broken controller because it either wants to go up and down really quick. Now that little ribbon pauses, which is kind of neat. Gives you a couple seconds to advance. So see, here's an overlay. They're transparent, and each game would have had their own. I'm actually seriously contemplating making one, making these, because there's no one that makes these covers. And for all these games, even if you got a multi-car, it would be really cool to have every one of those that you could switch out. Because see, on the bottom, it actually would show you the control, the button layout for each game. Another arcade classic. I used to sit in my closet when I was like 8 years old, 6, 8 years old, 10 years old, and play this thing like in a little fort. I can't believe my mom kept it all those years. That's just so awesome that I can still have these things. Because you guys know, through the years you move, you get married, things get lost in the mix-up of stuff. So she was nice enough to keep this particular console for me, which really means a lot. This is like kind of a knockoff of Tempest, which is really kind of neat. I've never played it before today. It's cool how it's 3D though. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I have no idea. Knockoff of Space Invaders. Very basic looking. Still get the concept though. Think about it, as a little kid back that early, it's like it was cool to be able to play these in your house. This is really slow though. What is the concept? Ah, man, come on. Look at that. Ah, get it. You suck. Ah, I'm dead. Vectrex, which is Tetris. Now this is really, you see how quick they're dropping down because of the controller again? I so gotta get that fixed. I go down and push one for the next one, and then the following one behind it just goes real quick. So it's almost impossible to even control this game right now. Still neat though. That's gonna do it, guys. So you should definitely check it out if you've never seen it before. And you can buy these multi-kits online. They're not that expensive if you have one. If you've never had a Vectrex, I recommend you looking into one because it's definitely something to collect for. It's a really cool unit. Take care, and I'll see you next time.